So next, we're just going to make a new sheet. To do that, all you have to do is just press the add button. So as I said before, Tableau is reading this as a state, so we're going to be able to make a map out of this. So we're going to just pull state into columns here, and maybe we're going to stick with the same thing with tuition cost. We're going to drag tuition cost into the rows. See, this is a good example of why sorting it is important, ascending and descending. So here it's just reading it alphabetically, but maybe we want to see highest to lowest here. So we're just going to go over and hover over that again and go to the header, go to the axis label name and just press that button, and it's going to show you Pennsylvania, highest to lowest. So then, just like we did before, it doesn't make sense to look at sum of tuition cost, adding up all the schools together. So we're going to do the same thing as before, go to the drop down, press measure, and make it an average. And then again, it sorted it by, I don't know what. So we're going to do the same thing, press descending, and it's going to show you. So now you see Massachusetts has the highest cost, $30,000, compared to Wyoming, average cost is only $4,000. So this is a quick and easy bar chart as we made before. So one of the coolest and easiest parts of Tableau here is the Show Me tab up here. So as soon as you press Show Me, it's going to give you a bunch of different options of different charts you can make with the data that you have in right now. So once, as you can see here, it's like there's like some that are grayed out, which means that you can't make the chart there because you don't have proper dimensions or measures. So for example, if I hover over this timeline right here, you can see that on the bottom it says for lines continuous, try one date, 0 or more dimensions, 1 or more measures. And since we don't have a date here, we can't make this. So for now, we're going to make a map. So as you can see, there's 2 different types of maps. You can make a symbol map or a map. I like just using map for this. So all you're going to do is click map. Take a second to load. Now a map of the United States pops up. Unclick show me. Map of the United States comes up. For now, we're just going to look at the continental United States. So as you zoom in, you can see what we're looking at. So as I said before, we dragged in average tuition cost. So over here, you can kind of see it's like the legend of what we're looking at. So the darker the state is, the darker the average tuition cost is. So you can see here, Wyoming is the lightest, which because it has the lowest average tuition cost. And I think we said Massachusetts has the darkest average tuition cost. And you can see here like a lot of light over here in the western part of the United States until you get to the West Coast. So a lot of good information just from quick and easy color right here. And maybe you don't like blue here, but so all you have to do there is go back to the color over here, press edit colors, and you'll be able to change maybe to red, press OK, and it updates to red here. Now, as Dr. Campbell always says, a lot of the population in the United States is red and green colorblind. So it's sometimes good to stray away from the color red and green. And so we're going to just go back to the blue here. Go back to the blue here. So maybe within this, we're going to want to see how many colleges and universities are within each of these states. So for that, we're going to do what we did before. We're going to go into school name, and we're going to drag that to label. As you see when I do this, all these like states, these schools pop up, and that's not telling us anything. So we're going to do exactly what we did before with the count function. So just before we go any further, as you can see, once I drag something into the marks, it gets like a corresponding logo. So you can see you're using average tuition cost as the color. You can see the symbol is the same. You're using state as a detail, and you're using school name as a label. So as you press the drop down again, we're going to want to make it a measure and count. And as soon as I do that, it updates where it's showing the amount of schools in each state. So as we said before, Massachusetts has the highest, and they have 59 schools. But we said Wyoming only had 4,000. And if you look into that, in this data set, Wyoming only has 1 college or university. So that's why the average is going so low, because the in-state school and so on. Any questions with this map before we add some details to it?
So, oh, yeah, I
Hello?
just have a very small question. So
Yeah.
when I create the map, I don't know why I cannot move the United States map to be the center.
Yeah. So I have a mouse on mine, so I just like use like the zoom. So either if you have like a mouse, you can just do like the scroll to like zoom in, or if you have like a mouse pad to like do like the zoom in feature.
If not, I think you can click the little arrow above. So yeah, right there.
Just yeah, you can always also press the zoom in button right here, like the add button. Once
Or you can use, if you click the arrow, I think it'll let you lasso the area that you want to show. So then you can pick the box that you're most interested in, and it'll make that the center of your screen. And then zoom in.
Yeah, I use I think I use the pan tool at the with the arrow to just move around freely.
this one.
No, the one, yeah, that one.
Yeah, just to drag it around. Zoom in.
But that's the area where you kind of want to play with to get your picture to look the way you want it to. And then that little pin at the end, if you want a very specific picture to stay on your dashboard, you want to pin it so that that's what shows up when you show it to someone else.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions with that? Good question. All right, so now we added some details here, but we could add some more. So maybe once you hover over a state, maybe you want to see the average, maybe you want to go to a smaller school or bigger school. So maybe you want to see the average of total enrolled in each of the states. So so you're gonna go to total enrolled on the left, go to detail, and it's gonna come up as a sum again. So we're gonna make that an average, go on to measure, go on to average. So now once you hover over it, you can see in California, the average total enrolled is 1,473 students with $23,000 average tuition with 93 schools, and you can just hop around and see the differences between each state. It's always good to add like a bunch of things that you can think see fits. Always have good sometimes to have more information than you need because people can get curious and want to see this in the detail because it's not really taking up a lot of space because it only comes up when you hover over it. Any questions with this?
I have a question not related to Tableau. I wanted to know, I had a doubt related to Python. So do I just wait for my turn or do we have specific days for it?
If you look at so for Python, around 6 o'clock, we should have someone in who, 7 o'clock, we should have someone in who can help with Python. So Python, we have help from 10 to 2 and from 7 to 9.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, so we'll go on to a quick other bar chart to show you. So we're gonna actually first we're gonna have to name this, which I forgot. So we're just gonna maybe name this map so we know what we're working with. So we're gonna do a similar thing with state, and maybe we'll stick with the total enrolled. Maybe you want to go to a school with a lot of people there. Press sum, make that into an average. Average, make it ascending and descending. So, like we talked about filters before, you could also add filters to this. So maybe you only want to see the top 10 states with the highest enrolled. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the drop down of state. We're going to press drop down, and as soon as you press drop down, the first thing that shows up is filter. So we're going to press filter. And you can, this is what we looked at before. If you press a certain filter, it's not. But at the top here, you have wildcard condition and top. So we're gonna look at top. We're gonna press top right here. And so now we can do this is we're gonna do top 10 by total enrolled. So for that, we're gonna unclick non-request by field. So as soon as we press top 10, you can either do top or bottom, press that. So we're gonna stick with top, and you could press as many numbers as you want. So we're gonna stick with top 10 here. And then as you can see, it's doing what we did, total enrolled, and it's taking the average. But if you want to, you could change it here to sum. We're gonna stick to average. So as soon as we press OK here, we're gonna see now it's only showing the top 10, which that's a really cool thing to look at. So I'll just show you how to do that again. Press the drop down, show filter. That's not it. Sorry. What? Filter. Go to top by field, top 10, and that's doing by total enrolled or average, by average. And then once again, maybe you want to see the exact amount. So you're going to put the label on there, and that shows you the label with the number of each student. Any questions with that? Perfect.